Welcome back. Hey, this video is just gonna be me because I have an interview today for a teaching position, which is exciting, but also so nerve-wracking because I've been to so many interviews and I've made it through a lot of the steps, but then I just never end up getting chosen. And so my stomach is just filled with butterflies and I feel sick and I'm going to share with you some of the questions after I get out of the interview. That way, if you are about to interview for teaching positions, you can have a basic idea of some of the questions that they ask. Hopefully that will help you. Anyways, I can't decide what to wear. I have this blue dress, which I love. I think it's super pretty. I have this pink one that's like fun. Like I said, I'm just nervous. Wish me luck. I just got out of my interview. To be honest, I don't feel like it went well. Which is a bummer, but that's okay. Oh, I'm cutting my head off. Some of the questions I asked were, what does PLC mean to you? How would you work with a PLC group? How would you implement a reading group? How would that work for you? One of them was, what was your background? The questions they asked just made me feel like they weren't really interested in me becoming a teacher for them, which is fine. It's just so frustrating because I've been to so many interviews. It's okay. It's okay. A lot of the schools that I've interviewed for are Title I. So a new question this time around was, how will you help your higher ability students to continue learning? Essentially, like after you teach a concept, and if there's still students that need like help with that concept, how are you going to help your kids that understand it to go further? And I did not know how to answer that question because that is something that that's never been asked to me before. That's a good one to think about. What would a week of instruction look like for you? Again, I've never had that question asked before. Kind of confusing because I'm like, oh, it depends on what you're teaching, what's going on that week. So I didn't know how to answer that one either. I don't feel like I nailed this interview, but that is one of the questions that was asked. What will the instruction in your classroom look like? Here are some questions that have been asked during previous interviews. How would you deal with arguments or disagreements or someone hurt your feelings within your grade level team or even just within the school? How would you deal with that? How do you differentiate lessons to meet the needs of individual students, whether that's low or high? How do you build strong relationships with your students? What would you do to build those relationships? What do you think is the most important quality within a teacher? Been asked that. Yeah, okay, that's all I can think of. Okay, I just thought of something. I couldn't remember any questions to ask them at the end. I blanked, and I feel like that's a big no-no. You should have questions. So here are some good questions that you can ask at the end of an interview. How big are class sizes? How big is the team I will be working with? What other teachers will I be working with if they're not in the interview? Sometimes they are. What supplies will be given to me, and what will I need to provide on my own? Some schools make you pay to print things. Others completely provide that for you. You don't have to pay for that. So that's something good to know. Will your students have iPads? Will your students have Chromebooks? That's something that's good to know. So what resources will you have in the classroom? Does it already have a classroom library? That's a good one. What kind of involvement do we get from the parents? Do we have very actively involved parents? Is that something we're going to need to try to implement? What kind of extracurricular activities are there at the school? Is that something I can get involved with? Showing your interest, I'm sure, helps. Not that I would really know because I haven't gotten a job as an actual teacher. So those are some good questions you can ask after an interview. Okay, another question that I just thought of that's really good information for you to know is, what kind of extra responsibilities will I be expected to participate in at this school, aside from just teaching your classroom? Will I need to do recess duty or playground duty or bus duty? What kind of duties will be on my plate in addition to teaching? There's some questions that you can ask to help you be better informed about your school, and so that they know that you're really interested and curious, because I feel like if you don't ask questions at the end of an interview, they're just kind of like, okay, I guess you're not really interested. To surmise, final tips and tricks. Before you go to your teacher interview, look at the core curriculum standards for whatever grade level it is. That way you can get some sort of basic understanding of what you might be teaching and give more specific examples to answer questions. Maybe practice answering some questions. You can even do it in a mirror to feel more comfortable. Find an outfit that you feel comfortable in and confident in. I always bring a resume. I don't know if it helps or not, but that's what I like to. I just like to feel prepared, and so by bringing my resume to show them, that makes me feel more prepared. Look up their school website, social media, try to get an understanding of that school. If they have any cool accomplishments or things like that, you might want to bring that up just so that they know that you've looked into their school. For example, the school I went to today was a platinum STEM school, so that's something that I tried to focus on, was STEM specific answers and things like that. Be yourself, but be a confident version of yourself if you're not typically confident. Oh, another question that is asked a lot is your classroom management style. So for sure, make sure that you have an answer for that, because I've been asked that in almost every single interview that I've gone to. How would you handle a difficult student? What would your routines be? So just have some sort of basic understanding of your classroom management style. Anyways, I don't think I'm gonna get this job, but that's okay, because I truly believe that God has a plan for me. And so if I don't get this job, then it's just not meant to be, and I have to be at peace and okay with that. However, I am gonna go drown my sorrows with a pint of Ben & Jerry's tonight though, because this is gold, people. This is my favorite. I love this so much. Any excuse I have to get it, I will get it. And since I don't think this interview went very well, I got it. Good luck in your teaching interview process. I really wish you all the best. Everyone says it's an easy field to get into, and yeah, it kind of is, but it's also kind of not. Really depends on the district you're in. Some districts are a little bit more difficult to get your foot in the door. Anyways, just good luck. Teachers are incredible. You got this. Okay, bye.